You are about to watch a Kevin Smyth video. Watching Kevin is warm, human, informational, and fun. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone and welcome to Kevin Smyth Photography. I'm Kevin Smyth. Today I thought I'd try something new. I receive a lot of email, so today I thought that I would try answering a few of those emails, the most frequently asked questions via video response. So let me know how you like it. Again, I appreciate you reaching out through email. I love the feedback. I love the questions. I love being able to offer advice where I can offer advice, and I just appreciate the interaction. It only makes me better at what I do, and I just really appreciate the support. So thank you very much, and be sure to let me know how you like these video responses to some of those emails. Let me get to the first email. First email came in from Michael Anderson from Albany, New York, and Michael's question is just a quick, short one. He says, Kevin, what camera would you recommend? Well, Michael, that's a tough question, seeing I don't know what you are going to use the camera for. Is it just an everyday camera, a travel camera, a camera for landscape? Is it for professional use? So seeing I don't know those questions right now, let me go through and just give you some idea of what's available. And there's plenty of options out there as far as cameras, and there's also plenty of advice. If you go to YouTube, there's all kinds of influencers, and they get hung up in the real technical aspects of buying a camera. They bring it to levels that sometimes I just look at them and just say, okay, because even myself, I do this professionally, and sometimes I just think it's too much. But to each his own, and that's great. But for me, I think a camera is something that needs to fit well in your hand. It needs to fit well in your hand. It needs to be something that's manageable, that you can work with, that the menu system is good. So whatever camera you choose needs to feel good in your hands, because if it doesn't feel right, you're not going to use it. Now, there's many types of cameras out there as far as sensors. There's the full-frame sensor cameras, which I use for my professional work. I use the Canon 5D series. I also use the 6D series, which is just a step underneath this. It's more of an enthusiast's full-frame camera, where the 5D series is a professional series for professionals. Now, do you need a full-frame sensor? I've been shooting photography since high school, and until the digital age, I never really had a full-frame sensor. As a matter of fact, my 5D series is my first full-frame sensors. Until then, I used APC sensors, which you'll find like in the 80D series. Again, 80D is a great camera. Has professional build quality. It's just a great overall camera. But it's APC. It doesn't have a full-size sensor. What does that mean? Well, it just means that the sensor is smaller, and your depth of field supposedly is different. And why I say supposedly is because if you know what you're doing as a photographer, it doesn't matter what lens or what sensor you have, you'll know how to get that blurry background. So your depth of field, really is a moot point. What it really comes down to is a camera that's comfortable for you, one that you're going to use, one that's going to fit your needs. I mean, maybe you won't bring a big camera like this everywhere with you, because it is. Once you put a lens on this, this is a huge camera. It's not, always comfortable bringing it everywhere. You can step down to the smaller DSLRs like the 80D, and Canon has a T series too, which is pretty good. But the T series isn't built as well as the 80D series. But this is lighter, smaller body, but it's still a fairly good sized camera. But it all depends on what your needs are. I use that for vlogging video. And that's the other thing. If you want something for vlogging, you probably want a smaller camera. The latest craze out there, if you're going to go watch the influencer, listen to the influencers on YouTube, and all the camera companies right now, because they need to increase sales, are pushing mirrorless cameras. Now, I have the Canon M50. It's one of the smaller mirrorless cameras that Canon has. Canon has the RF series, which is, a more affordable mirrorless camera, and then they have the R, which is more professional, and then they have the M. This camera here it's great. I mean, it takes great video, great photos. It's just, even with its lenses, it's just compact to carry. It's very, very comfortable, and I have an adapter for it, so I can use some of my EF lenses, L lenses, with this camera, because this camera it's the M50, so it has its own lens line, which is called the Canon M lenses. So, but a great camera, compact. I absolutely have fallen in love with this camera. It's great. And don't overlook point and shoots. I've had this Canon G12. This camera will hold its own against anything. It really, really will. Has a flip screen. It has manual controls, which is what I shoot in. I really like manual, but it's fully, automatic, and it has scene modes for folks who like that. But this G12 is a great camera. I had a G11 before this. This is an older camera. Now, any in the G series are great. I mean, have they improved on the G12? Yes, the newer G series. This is a fairly old camera, so the newer G series are great cameras. But this it's tried and it's true. And point and shoot is probably the way to go if you're not doing anything professional and you really don't want bulk. So I would recommend, if you're not doing anything professional and you don't really like to carry big things, but you want quality video, and you want quality photos, I really recommend, from Canon anyhow, anything in the G series and the M50 line, the Canon mirrorless line. Now, what is a mirrorless camera? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. They've taken the mirror out of the camera, so the lens sits closer to the body. And so I don't want to get too technical. You can find all that on the internet. I just wanted to go through and answer this question. Not really sure what your use is, but again, I'd go full frame, big bodied, in any brand. I mean, I'm a Canon fan. Yes, I'm a Canon fanboy. I love Canon. They're a great company. If you have any problems, any issues, they're there to take care of you. I've been shooting Canon a long time, so I highly recommend Canon. But you really can't go wrong with any cameras in any brand today. Technology is so great. So, big boy full frame if you're doing something professional, or if you just want really a step up in quality and a faster camera and don't mind lugging it around, or the intermediate range like the 80D or the T series. It's going to give you a lot more power than this. However, you have to, it's a lot bigger, so you have to carry it around and all that. And again, this M series, boy, don't overlook this one. This can compete with the big boys. And my point and shoot here, again, this is in my camera bag all the time. It's on my bike and the motorcycle. The photos this camera takes they're just unbelievable. They're beautiful, and some of my professional work I've done with this camera. And again, it's not the camera. It's do you know exposure? Do you know photography? Do you understand light? Do you understand, how to use these. Find something comfortable, find something that works for you. If you're a manual shooter, then all these will work because they all have manual controls. If you're an auto shooter, all these will work because they all have an auto mode. And last but not least, I know I was sort of overlooking it, but because I'm just not a fan. And that's using your cell phone for photography. Now, see, I've been in photography far too long to accept this as a camera. Do I use it? Absolutely. I use it in a pinch for video. I don't take anything serious or professional with it. And I certainly don't take anything that I want as a keepsake with it. You know, these run on an algorithm. And I know people say, well, I shoot with my cell phone and it's beautiful. Yes, it's beautiful because there's an algorithm in there saying it needs to be this color, it needs to be this, it needs to be that. It's not, you know, you choosing the exposure. I mean, even auto mode on these are better than this. And that's a whole nother debate, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of email on that. But again, for all you cell phone lovers and people, just, you know, no offense meant. Keep using it. Just however, know that if you want real true keepsakes and you really want really good prints, you know, even just step up to a point and shoot. Because you can get better quality with this and it's going to be more versatile than this. And then when you go from there up, it only gets better. So I hope I've answered your question with what camera to choose. The world is just full of so much technology today and so many things that you really can get lost out there. And again, you can't go wrong with any brands, but I recommend Canon. And again, if you want to, you know, you're looking at professionals, start with the 5D series. The Canon 80D, again, is a great all-around camera. It's a smaller body. It's professionally built. It's weatherproof. The price point is great. And then the M series, the mirrorless. That's just great small camera that you can bring with you anywhere. And then again, just to reiterate, Canon has their point and shoot series, and I'm a big fan of their G series stuff. So hope that's answered your question. Keep sending your questions in. Love the interaction with the email. Appreciate all the comments and questions. So we'll see you soon, and have a great day.